afternoon from Labo Campus po.
Sir Irvin, hello.
I'm here, ma'am, watching.
Yes, thank you so much po.
Almighty, ever-living God, the most merciful and compassionate, we thank you for creation and the life you have given us. Together, we people of diverse religions, spiritual expressions and indigenous traditions, who invoke you by different names, humbly pray for your providence and protection in the midst of the COVID crisis. Strengthen and guide government leaders and private agencies, especially our administrators, faculty and staff, for the wisdom to do what is right and just. Enlighten the minds of students, that despite the educational limitations in this new normal, they may study diligently and effectively. Bless our families, remove our fears, and help us to trust in your love, so that by our example and generosity, we can inspire and help others. Grant all of us, especially the frontliners, good health and accept those who have died in your kingdom. Amen.
Tayong magiliw, perlas ng silangan, anak ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisili. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mabaga, may nilagang tulad, awit sa paglayang minamahal. Pag-isap ng matawat mo'y tagumpay na naglilingig. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pang mali magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng malapit pagsinta mo'y langit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya na may mga pirang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Bicol. Good afternoon to all that who are online. Good afternoon po, and thank you for taking your time on joining us in this online technology dissemination and training series. And thank you for the Bicol Consortium for giving us the chance of sharing our studies on Queen Pineapple. And also I would like to take this opportunity to thank Picard and the OST for trusting us to do the research team, State University, also Dr. Oclarit and our research assistants, Daryl and Christine from CNSC and VSU. And the title of our study is, as you see in our screen, is the development of site-specific sustainable pest management of pin pineapple under different cropping schemes in Leyte and Camarines, Norte. So, composed of two studies, and I will be dealing much on the emerging pests and diseases of green pineapple, both in Camarines Norte, where I have much of the data, and a bit from Visayas State University, where for comparison, and generally, our objective is to develop a site-specific sustainable pest management strategy of green pineapple under farmers' field and different cropping schemes in Leyte and Camarines Norte. But first of all, I would like to let you know why pineapple is so important to us. One, aside from it belongs to the major tropical fruits in our country, we cannot deny that green pineapple can give us a lot of health benefits. One favorite is that it boosts immunity and improves blood circulation. At this time of pandemic, I think we all need boosting our immunity. And another favorite of the benefits we get from pineapple is that it reduces the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. So pagkatapos po siguro nito, lahat po tayo talaga ngayon, we have to include pineapple in our diet. So dun sa mga gusto, ayaw na magkaroon ng dementia at saka ng Alzheimer's, then better eat pineapple. And to our farmers, we have a growing number of farmers natumba na lahat ang green pineapple natin, nandiyan dyan pa rin. Kaya po yung mga farmers natin, they incur very less loss during calamities when they devote themselves into farming and growing green pineapple. Aside from that, it gives about 7.7% average annual growth rate of farm gate price, which is good for our farmers. And there is about 3,500 farmers, small farmers and traders that has a potential income source coming from green pineapple, both in region 5. Among pineapples. So speaking of varieties, we have the smooth cayenne. The smooth cayenne is quite big. It weighs about 1.8 to 4.5 kilograms. It is cylindrical in form and it has a shallow eyes, which makes it very good for canning. and it was introduced into the Philippines from Hawaii in 1912. And then we have the red Spanish. It's orange-red in color. That's why I think the red name. And it weighs from 1.36 to 2.7 kilograms. The flesh is pale yellow, fibrous with large core, and aromatic and flavorful. But our queen is called the dwarf. It's the smallest pineapple among the three, but it matures earlier than the two. It is deep yellow in color, which makes it good looking on the table when you serve it. It has deep eyes, but it weighs about less than half a kilo to 1.13 kilograms. It is very aromatic and juicy. It has a tender core, which makes it easy to eat, and it is always called as a table pineapple. So let us take a look at the queen pineapple industry in Camarines Norte. In 2018, it was recorded that there is about 4,231 hectares in the Bicol region devoted for the production of queen pineapple. And with that, we were able to produce 146,000 metric tons of queen pineapple. Basically, as a recent data, we have covered about 82% of total pineapple hectareage in the Bicol region, which includes 2,191 farmers that are dependent on the industry. But no matter how sweet our pineapple is, it is definitely not spared from the issues and research and development concerns. So most of us, I think, already know this kind of issues that we have, the gaps that we have, our concerns with production, like technology, commercialization, and adoption, increasing production efficiency, varietal improvement, characterization and conservation, the improvement of post-harvest handling, processing, and product standards, the planting materials production and certification, and the improved cultural management practices, which we are our focus today in this presentation, specifically on the pest management. So how we did everything. So in the slide that you're looking at, the first thing we did is to select the sampling sites, both in Region 4, Region 5, and Region 8. So in the next few slides, you will see the difference between a queen pineapple produced by Visayas and queen pineapple produced in the Bicol region. So this is Ormoc and Villaba. So in the Visayas, there are few farmers or commercial growers that are involved in queen pineapple production, but they covered large areas. They have open areas. So the areas they covered is about 90 to over 100 hectares, but very few of these. And in the Bicol region, we have so many farmers involved in the production of queen pineapple. This is how they do it. And we have different areas that are involved in queen pineapple production. We have Basud, San Vicente, San Lorenzo, and also in Diet, particularly in Calasgasan and Bibirao. So these areas are queen pineapple areas. And for these, we have selected 5 areas. Areas are municipalities, and each of the areas are divided into 3 sites. The site means this growth stage of the pineapple. So we have site 1 for vegetative stage, site 2 for flowering to fruiting stage, and site 3 for fruit maturity to harvest. So each one of those sites composed of 100 pineapple samples. And for the entire area, we have 300 pineapple samples. So to monitor the pests and diseases, the pests we have, basically we have to trap them. Okay? So the insect trapping is done with yellow pine trap and sticky traps. The pine trap is for the crawling insects or the crawling arthropods, and the sticky traps is for definitely for the flying arthropods. And we let them stay for 3 days and collect them after that and process in the laboratory for identification. And for the disease, we have to collect disease specimens. This is part of the plant or sometimes the entire plant, and also soil samples to be processed in the laboratory so that we can isolate the pathogen and identify them so that we will be able to know the disease of the pineapple. So for the abundance of the pink pineapple mealybug, we use this rating scale, and it is rated as low, slightly moderate when it is 6 to 20 ppmb in a fruit, and slightly severe when it is 20 to 40 ppmb in a fruit, and 40 and above is considered as severe. So for monitoring of the disease severity, we have these different stages of pineapple wilt disease. So we have 0 for 0 reddish coloring. So when the leaves are all green, then we consider it a 0 stage. Okay, so the numbering is depends on the number of leaves covered with reddish coloring. That is the symptom of the pineapple wilt disease. So for the worst scenario or the advanced stage, we have a rating of 5, which shows that the plant is already stunted, and the crown and there is an intense curling of the leaves and intense coloring of reddish color of the whole plant. For the evaluation of botanical extracts, we use Zingiber officinale, which is the luya, and Alimsativum bawang in our common dialect. And we were able to use an organic antipathogenic solution. This is Pathaway, and this is commercial. Okay. And also we use dishwashing liquid because it is a very popular control measure for pests in small gardens. So we included that one. Okay. So for the highlights of results, in the trapping of pests and arthropods, we were able to get 8 insect families. There are chewers and sapsuckers, and that includes the pineapple pink mealybug, which belongs to the family Pseudococcidae. The insect family is associated with queen pineapple at various growth stages, and as shown in your screen. And these insects can cause potential damage to our queen pineapple. So this is the PPMB, the pink pineapple mealybug, infesting all parts of the queen pineapple. And it infests the leaves, the fruits, the roots, and causing a typical pink discoloration and wilted tips. Commonly, our farmers would always say that they call it kadang-kadang. And they think that these symptoms, this drying and coloring of the queen pineapple is just normal. But basically, in this study, we find out that this is a symptom that is caused by the infestation of pink pineapple mealybug. So aside from the pests that we were able to identify, we also were able to identify potential predators of queen pineapple pests. Okay. And we have 6 families of predators, and also we have 6 families of potential parasitoids in all the study sites that we have. For diseases, we were able to identify 3 fungal diseases, which is the pineapple blight, which is caused by the Fusarium species, and the leaf blotch, which is caused by Pest species, and the leaf spot caused by Parricularia species. Okay. We were able to identify the major disease of queen pineapple in each of the areas, and San Lorenzo Ruiz, Basud, and San Vicente and Leyte, all of them has incidence of pineapple wilt diseases during flowering to fruiting stage, while San Lorenzo and San Vicente can have the disease as early as vegetative stage. For the leaf spot, the staggering incidence is from Leyte, okay? And during mature stage of the crop, and San Lorenzo and during vegetative and flowering to fruiting stage. So in Visayas, they have incidence of Phytophthora and Coleotrichum species, and they test it against several extracts, including the biopath or the pathway, and it seems that Phytophthora can be controlled by pathway 100%, and also for Coleotrichum, but the most effective biocon for Coleotrichum is the wood vinegar, followed by pathway. And the sterile water definitely give much growth. Okay. So also we're able to test and to do an in vitro evaluation of botanical extract on Pest. So we did test Allium sativum, 5% pathway, 20% Zingiber officinale, and it was able, the pathway was able to control the Pest, also the sativum, and a bit of the officinale, Zingiber officinale. Okay. So, for the summary and conclusion, the pink pineapple mealybug, or the Demyscoccus brevipes, was identified as the major insect pest of queen pineapple, both in Leyte and Camarines Norte, infesting the roots, leaves, and fruits. It is a serious damage because it transmits mealybug wilt-associated virus to the plant. The presence of potential parasitoids and predators are indicative of natural enemies in the area and vital for establishing pest management on queen pineapple. Another is anthracnose disease caused by Coleotrichum species and heart rot caused by Phytophthora species were identified as the major diseases of queen pineapple infection in Leyte, and was very prevalent in all sites during all stages of the queen pineapple plant. It was characterized by brown to black spots, which showed sunken appearance. Severe symptoms on the leaves resulted to appearance of dried and wilted leaves of queen pineapple. Another conclusion is There were 3 pathogens identified in Camarines Norte. It is Fusarium, Pestalozza, and Curvularia, causing base rot, pineapple blotch, and leaf spot at different stages of queen pineapple growth. Pestalozza was observed to be the most prevalent in Camarines Norte. The 5 selected plant extracts, Mayana, Panyawan, Tigbao, Asyang, and Ginger, along with the plant-based antipathogen solution, Pathway, showed fungicidal activity against the Colitotrichum species fungus. When treated directly on spores, Ginger, Asyang, and Biopath, or the Pathway, exhibited higher percentage of inhibition of spores germination. The utilization of potential biocon agents, and together with other compatible pest management strategies as sustainable pest management, may result to a more profitable and cleaner pineapple production systems. For implications and recommendations, queen pineapple, being a tropical crop, has a very good potential as dollar earner of the country because of its increasing demand to foreign market. Thus, this is an important crop that could be recommended and adaptable for farming, especially for typhoon-prone areas of the country like Eastern Visayas and Camarines Norte. The presence of pests and diseases could be one of the constraints of crop productivity. More so, control strategies of pests have also to be close through raw or a stable fruit. Thus, pest control options have to be carefully selected and applied. For the last, a longer study period is seen important to establish major pest dynamics in areas where queen pineapple is largely produced. This is very crucial to formulate effective and sustainable control strategies of major pests for queen pineapple. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon po muli.
Afternoon, Dr. Arlene Alegre. Thank you very much, ma'am, for that fruitful discussion regarding the development of site, sustainable pest management, about the pineapple under different schemes in Leyte. So thank you very much for that, ma'am. Now, I think it's time for question and answer. If we have questions from our participants via Zoom, you may comment down. No audio? Can you hear me loud and clear po? Or you don't? Wala pong audio daw.
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you po. Thank you so much. If you have questions po, you may use our chat box. Thank you. We're also checking the Facebook.
Hello, Miss Moderator.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon. This is Sir Lester.
Oh, hello, Sir Lester. Good afternoon po. You have questions, sir?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm very interested with the presentation of Ma'am Alegre because I am teaching pomology and fruit production. And we also discuss about pineapple in our class because this is one of the major fruit crops being produced by the Philippines. And this is actually one of the top fruits being exported by our country. Di ba, ma'am?
Opo, sir.
Okay. So, yung tanong ko po, ma'am, kasi your topic is about sa pests and diseases. What stage of growth po, ma'am, of pineapple is most vulnerable to pests and diseases?
Sir Les, dun sa results kasi nakita namin, depende sa peste at saka sa disease, ano? May mga diseases na atake ng vegetative at saka flower stages, katulad ng much. Pero meron din naman mga mas gusto nila pag bata. Kaya mas matanda, no? Kasi fruiting. Especially yung pink pineapple mealybug, yung PPMB. Wala itong pinipiling stage eh. Mula sa hanggang pagtanda ng pineapple, nandoon siya sa kit. So, hanggang fruiting, sa fruits, nandoon siya, doon sa mga planting materials, suhi, meron din. So, sinasabi namin na kaya siguro ang daming lumalaganap ito, kasi ang mga farmers natin, kadalasan dito sa Kabikulan, they share yung and in that case, madami yung mga lugar na nagkakaroon ng PPMB.
Opo. Thank you. Ma'am, another question po, ma'am. Ano po, ma'am, usually yung ginagamit ninyong planting material for pineapple?
Dito sa Kabikulan, ang cultural practice is yung suhi talaga ang ginagamit. No? They will not choose the crown. Kinaklasify nila yan. May primera, segunda, tercera. No? So, yun yung kalakaran dito.
Opo. So, wala po man pagkakaiba yung incidence ng pest kahit na anong planting materials yung gamitin?
Hindi namin siya na-monitor kung saan galing kasi karamihan nagko-cover na yung mga pinanggalingan ng mga planting materials. Kumbaga, ang hirap na gumawa ng contact tracing. Kasi nasi-share continuously yung mga planting materials, no? So, for now, we do not have any data that will connect yung question mo doon sa
Opo. So, thank you, ma'am. So, another question po, ma'am. Hindi ko po lang alam kung na-cover ito ng inyong study. Di po ba, ma'am, mayroon din mga inducer, flower inducers para sa pineapple? So, kung kapag may flower inducer, meaning pwede kang makapagpabunga ng pineapple off-season, although yung pineapple naman ay, di ba, ang peak season niya ay nasa anong month to month?
Nasa 11 to 15 months.
Okay, so around December po ba maging kung ano, karamihan nag-harvest ng pineapple. Apo. So ang kwan po kasi baka may kwan din, may effect din yung 'di ba yung time ng pamumunga ng pineapple. Let's say if it is induced, anong mga buwan yung pwede na. Kung baga
Okay.
hindi siya masyadong prone doon sa mga usual na pest and diseases ng pineapple na nangyayari kapag nasa season yung production.
Okay. So, ganito yun. May mga peste, no? Matake pag namumulaklak siya. May mga peste na gusto siya pag bata pa siya. Ngayon, kung pamumulaklakin mo siya ng mas maaga, definitely nandun yung peste.
Opo. Okay.
Kasi nandun sa stage. Ang hinahabol ng peste yung stage ng crop. So, early flowering, maybe then they will attract. Merong contradicting ako dito, observation. Kasi meron kaming nakikita na yung pag-kolekta namin ng mga peste, especially the insect or the arthropods, there are those that are marami sila pag malamig ang panahon. So, yung buwan ng Disyembre hanggang January, ando dun sila. Pero wala sila during the summertime. So we can still connect.
Opo.
Are there and can cause the possible disease and the infestation sa crop mismo, sa pineapple. So maybe sooner or later on, we have to connect that.
Opo. So, thank you very much po ma'am for answering my questions.
Thank you so much, Sir
Salamat.
Les.
Okay.
Salamat.
Thank you, Sir Lester, for that question. And thank you, Ma'am Alegre, for answering those questions po. Is there any more questions from our chat box? Thank you.
May question po sa chat box.
Okay. Saan ang question? Miss Moderator, can you possibly read the question?
Alagay. Mary,
Okay.
is there a need to develop pest-resistant queen pineapple varieties, given the degree of incidence of diseases encountered in the study?
Medyo choppy ka, Sir Irvin. Can you possibly repeat it? Pwedeng pakiulit?
Nasa ko lang ma'am dun sa chat.
Oh, yan.
Sa chat box ma'am natin.
Oh, okay. Nakalagay. Pakiulit na lang, Sir Irvin.
Is there a need to develop pest-resistant queen pineapple varieties given the degree of incidence of diseases encountered in the study? Yun po kami ang question sa chat box.
Okay. So, doon sa mga kasabay namin sa studies namin, merong isang grupo na nag-develop ng somatogenesis or tissue culture of queen pineapple, no? So, nakikita namin ito na hindi pa siya masyadong na screen out, no? I still don't have concrete results on how they perform in the field. Pero nakikita namin ito at inaasahan namin na isa ito sa paraan para maiwasan yung mga diseases, no? And hopefully, when we get all the results on this, we will be able to publish that. And I think VSU, for one, will be the first to announce the performance of this somatogenesis produced queen pineapple plants. Okay. Is there a follow-up on that question? Thank you so much too.
Okay.
Hello.
Another question,
We're having problems with the internet connection.
Fluctuating ang connection ng BU.
Yes po, and we're back, madam. Okay, thank you very much po for that question. And I confirm ko lang, ma'am, was this already answered? What is the best pest control management scheme for QP? Is there an organic solution or chemical pesticide that could be applied?
The first question is there a what again? Is there a scheme for control?
QP. Yes.
QP is queen pineapple. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the best scheme for control. Okay. What we have now, all the data that we have, all the findings that we got, that can be combined for us to be able to build a concrete and strong integrated pest management for queen pineapple. So far, we still do not have that. And to develop one, it would take some time. We still from all the angles where we can find all the solutions and put it together so that we can have a strong integrated pest management. And for the organic, the reason why we have pathway in our screening is because we were able to look at it as it is a certified organic solution. It is a plant-based solution, and you don't have to wear PPE when you apply that. No? So we were able to test it. And, in fact, our researchers in the Visayas, they were able to spray it and in their planting materials, and they were able to avoid PPMB. But I do not have to. There is no concrete and thorough study on that, so I cannot say that it definitely can control that way. But now we were able to screen it out in the laboratory, and we see that the results are staggering, or we have concrete results that it can stop growth of fungus, specifically Phytophthora. So Phytophthora is a very serious disease of queen pineapple, of pineapple in general, not only in the Philippines but all over the world. So that alone is a potential, a very big potential to control Phytophthora. One big problem for queen pineapple and pineapple in general. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Alegre. Okay, I think Ma'am Joy's question has been answered. And I think yung mga iba pong questions na yan ay can be used for future researches pa more on the topic at hand. So, yes po. Are there any more questions po?
Miss Ai?
Yes po, Sir Les. Good afternoon
Parang may
po.
isang question pang hindi pa nasagot ni Mama, no? Yung what are the
Okay.
ways by which these What are the
Oh.
ways by which these research results are disseminated to the farmers?
Oh, yes po. Thank you, Sir Les. Noted.
Okay. In fact, after the program, we just finished last January 2020, and right after we finished, it's already COVID time, and we're not able to disseminate so much so that we would like to, but we were not able to do that immediately. But now that we can go out a bit and meet some of the farmers, we are teaching them to protect their planting materials, and we in fact we are advising them because we have an existing program again for Queen Pineapple as the Queen Pineapple Center. We have advising our farmers that we have to start protecting their planting materials. There's no better way to do it the earliest possible time. Okay po. Sir Les, okay lang ba?
Opo. Actually, ma'am, tanong po yun ni Ma'am Ruby Makasinag.
Hi, Ma'am Ruby.
Thank you, Sir Les. Thank you, Dr. Alegre. Meron pa po bang ibang katanungan? Oh, there is one. Another question, ma'am. Ma'am Arlene, do typhoons in the Bicol region affect pest incidents during the conduct of the study, particularly the pest population?
Definitely, ano yan, syempre, common sense would tell you that yung mga insekto natin, madali naman yung inililipad at inililipat ng hangin. Kung yung bahay na dadala no? So, yung mga ano din natin nadadala. And fungus for one, they have spores and then they can be carried away from the area, and also the insects. For once, pinaka-damage na lang talaga ng mga ng kalamidad sa mga pinya natin ay pag ang mga pinya ay nababaha at saka ang mga pinya ay natatabunan at ng mga kahoy na natutumba. Pero so far yung sabihin mo na they increase in disease incidents, wala pa ako nakita na after the typhoon ang tumaas bigla yung incidences ng infection, both from diseases and infestation from Pest. That's from our experience here in Camarines Norte.
So, can I have another question, please? Pwede po ba ako magtanong?
Definitely.
Ma'am Arlene, baka pwede 1 hour question and answer?
Sige po.
Okay. Baka naputo lang kanina, baka hindi ko napansin yung sa discussion. Di po ba ma'am, ang research niyo ay kinonduct niyo sa Leyte and Camarines Norte?
Opo.
Yung level of incidence po ba ng pest and diseases parehas lang? At pare-parehas din pa yung peste at mga diseases ng pineapple na mayroon sa Leyte at Norte?
Opo. May magkakapareho pero mas magkakaiba sila ng incidence, ng intensity ng infection. Like for example, kaya yung sa highlights na lang yung pinasend ko sa inyo. Kasi marami siya, pero magkakapareho. Pero ang pinaka matindi para sa Kabisayaan, yung Phytophthora. At pasalamat tayo, wala tayong Phytophthora dito sa Camarines Norte. Phytophthora at saka yung kanilang Colitotrichum. Makikita mo talaga, napaka-prevalent nito. Kasasamahan mo pa ng pineapple wilt, ng PPMB. So dito naman sa Camarines Norte, kitang-kita lang talaga yung infestation ng PPMB kasi ito talaga mahirap i-control kasi nga sumasama sa fruits ng pinya during harvest time at saka sa planting materials. And the fungal diseases na nakita namin, they affect thoroughly the kind and the quality of the fruit na harvest ng mga farmers. Yun yung pinaka-direct effect. Pareho naman sila, pati yung mga peste. Ganun din. Yung mga nakita namin na mga predators at saka mga pwedeng maging biological control para sa mga ito, sa mga peste ito, lalo na sa PPMB, ay almost pareho. So maybe because we have the same crop. That's why kahit doon meron din. Halos nagkakapareho kami ng mga insekto. Yun.
Okay po. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much, Madam. Sir Lester, do you have
Some more questions.
Okay. So,
Okay. May mga questions pa po? May mga katanungan pa po ba from our participants via Zoom? Okay.
Kung wala na po, 2 to 3 kasi lang ang time ni slot kasi dami nila. Thank you, Ma'am Arlene, for that. And thank you for PU for hosting.
Thank you too, Sir Irvin.
thank you, Ma'am Arlene. Thank you very much. Okay.
Maraming salamat din po sa pakikinig ninyo.
Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Arlene Alegre, for sharing your expertise, ma'am, in the topic, development of site-specific sustainable pest management of green pineapple under different cropping schemes in Leyte and Camarines Sur. So, this research is...
Norte po.
Camarines Norte po. Nagpo-protesta ang Camarines Norte.
Sige po.
Love you, ma'am.
Yes.
Good afternoon po, Ma'am Dr. Tondo.
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Do you have any more last question, message for our participants po? Thank you.
Salamat po sa inyong pakikinig at nawa po itong aming mga pag-aaral na ginagawa ay patuloy naming magampanan at para po ito sa ating mga farmers at patuloy natin mapalawak at mapaganda ang industriya ng pinya, ng pin pineapple dito po sa ating lugar, sa ating kabikulan. At gawa po niya, lubos po ako nagpapasalamat sa inyong pagkakataon na ito na ibinigay sa amin para patuloy namin maisawalat sa mga tao, sa mga researchers, sana pati mga sa farmers ngayon, may nakikinig sana sa kanila para sila din ay natututo nitong ating mga pag-aaral na ginagawa. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, madam. Okay.
Sa muli.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
For information lang po dun sa ating mga participants, may nagtatanong po for naghahanap ng evaluation form for the participation of this webinar. So ipopost na lang po namin sa aming Facebook page, and then I think isend din via email.
Okay.
Sige po.
Sige, maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Salamat po sa PU for allowing our prolific research Dr. Arlene Alegre sa platform po ng PU. We are very, very happy that you provided a platform for research. We are proud of her.
Maraming salamat po. Thank you, ma'am. Okay.
More support from Ubi Pre for QP.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Jo. Thank you, BU.
Thank you for QPIC team.
Kaya wala palang mga QP team dito sa Labuan dyan.
See you tomorrow.
Sa laboratory. Sige po, see you tomorrow. Ma'am Jo, sa NCIP mo, signing ko yata.
Sige.
We'll be there. Thank you, ma'am. Opo.
Okay, bye-bye. Pati
Po, God bless. Take care po.
Sir Les, thank you. See you. Sa susunod, pili naman.